Good morning and hello everyone. Hope you are doing well. I, Mr. Ajay Kharche, Assistant Professor, on behalf of Konkan Gyanpith Rahul Dharkar College of Pharmacy and Research Institute, Karzat, welcome all the participants on the sixth and the last day of the Student Development Program on career opportunities in various field of pharmacy organized under KG Sanjeevani webinar lecture series. This is the great initiative taken by our management and beloved principal, Dr. Mohan Kale sir, to organize student development program. In this lockdown period, to unlock the students' mind with new opportunities in pharmacy sector. From day 1 to day 6, we here in this student development program, Mr. and brainstorming session. The sessions on career. With this quick overview of this, I will welcome our today's guest of honor, Mr. Pushkar Raj Sharma. He is a officer, IPCA Laboratories, and ex-production manager, AstraZeneca, Bangalore. With this brief introduction, I request our today's Mr. Pushkara Sharma to deliver his talk. Sir, please.
Rahul, the Harkar College of Pharmacy and Research Institute, for giving me opportunity to share my thoughts with everybody. In this series of the opportunities of pharma graduates and postgraduates in pharma industry, I would like to share one uh, one bit of this. I can say a drop of the ocean. When we go to production field or quality assurance field, research and development field, and quality assurance of research and development and formulation and development, uh, we have to um, there are challenges in especially in formulation part. So today we'll discuss in this formulation part one important process is granulation. Why granulation is important in pharmaceutical field? What are the challenges we faced in our research part, our pilot plant part, and our manufacturing part? And through these challenges and through these difficulties, out of these difficulties, what are the changes or what are the research is going on to improve these challenges or these difficulties? So today we'll discuss both the things. Okay, granulation technology and what are the challenges we faced, and what are the things we have done to improve these challenges. Okay, my first slide is granulation. Everybody we know that granulation is simply making agglomerates of different types of particles. Okay, so here aim is very clear. We are taking different types of powder and different proportion and making it one single particle. Okay, through addition and cohesion process. Now, our first question is, in pharmaceutical field, especially in solid dosage form, why granulation is so important? Okay, so if you go to formulation and development part, and if you are doing a pre-formulation studies, you will be having different types of ingredients. Okay, so how these challenges come? You are in F&D, formulation and development, and your work or your assignment is to make one formulation. Okay, and there will be different ingredients and one API. So now your work will start in F&D. You will go through pre-formulation studies, and in pre-formulation studies you will come to know means why granulation is important, and how we can do the evaluation of how we can certify this these granules are uh, uh, means is getting what we means is the result of what we were trying to get. Okay, so simple advantages of granules, or why we are doing granulation, is to enhance flow properties. Okay, because if you simply take the powder, mix it and try to compress it, it will not happen. There will be flow problems, there will be compression problems. So why granulation is important? To enhance flow properties, to prevent the problem of dust formation during compression, and to get uniform size particles, compression abilities, and to improve compression ability, and to regulate drug release from tablet. Now this part, to regulate the drug release from the tablet, this part is very important. When you go for a novel drug delivery system, or you are trying to make the changes in the conventional product, and to make a novel product. Okay, so here we'll come to know how this simple make how this simple process of granulation can change the product behavior, or change the your raw material API behavior, and can change the release profile. Okay, and to densify the material means, simply if you densify the material, definitely it will its flow will increase. And what are the parameters how we evaluate the granules, like angle of repose, your Hassner ratios, tape density, bulk density, all these things we have done in our B form, I think first year and second years. Okay, so why these things are important? Why first year practicals and second year practicals and third year practicals are important in pharmaceutical? Means you should not take these things very lightly, because all these experiments, all these things you have done in first year, second year, third and fourth year, simple experiments will decide the fate of your formulation when you are trying to develop any formulation in formulation and development. Okay, next is, what are the different types of granulation methods? And this part is from industry perspective or from research perspective. Okay, what are the different types of granulation methods? We do wet granulation. In wet granulation there are two types, aqueous and non-aqueous. In wet granulation also there are different types: high shear, where we are using the means high speed of the machine; low shear means you are using low speed machine; fluidized fluidized bed granulator. Everybody know about the fluidized process, and you must heard about the name Brewster process. Okay, we'll discuss it later. Extrusion and spheronization, all these things we use in industry as a larger with larger equipments, in pilot plant with middle size equipment, and in research a smaller size equipments. Next is dry granulation. There are two types: slugging and through chalconator. Okay, we'll discuss these two things in coming slides. And one is direct compression. When your API and other ingredients have good flow properties, good density, and good mixing abilities, then no need to do anything. Just take the ingredients and directly compress. Go for compression. Okay, we'll go to next slide. Okay, first part is high shear bed granulation. Okay, when you will go to either production or quality assurance or research and development, formulation and development, or in pilot plant, this is the first equipment you will use, especially in solid dosage form. This is the most commonly used equipment. uh, um, it is being used from since a long time, and now also we are using, and future also will be using this equipment. So this is the main equipment when we talk about we discuss about solid dosage form manufacturing. This is rapid mixer granulator. Okay, this equipment is rapid mixer granulator. In this equipment with in this equipment uh, just one second. In this equipment we take the raw material. Okay, we take either aqueous solvent or non-aqueous solvent along with the binding material, and make the granules, and then we use the fluidized bed process to dry the granules. I'll show you one video how this rapid mixer granulator works. See, this process and these parameters are very important. Okay, how the mixing mixing time, mixing speed, volume of the RMG, density of the material, and the types of solvent important for making good quality granules. Okay, this is the granulation process. Everybody, just one second. Okay, this is high shear mixer granulator, or we can use the term rapid mixer granulator. This equipment have one large vessel, okay, and its capacity in liter. So you need to convert the density of material through density of the material. You need to convert the kgs in kgs of the powder in amount in liter. So here, how much amount to be put in a granulator is based on the density of material. Okay, here you can see mainly three parts. One is vessel. Down there is one impeller which is rotating, and inside you can see one chopper. Okay, and top you will find the openings for binder solution addition. Here three things are very important. One is amount what we are adding in granulator, dry mixing time, and mixing speed of the impeller, and the binding time. Fourth one is binding time. Okay, so here these parameters are like whether you are going for slow mixing, whether you are going for high speed mixing, whether you are using the lesser amount, whether you are using the maximum amount. These parameters only will decide your fate of the output. Okay, so here this is just close this. In this high shear weight granulation, the granulation endpoint depends on the three parameters. One is manual method. You take the granules, you break. It should break in three parts. This process normally you use in your if you're doing the smaller scale in granulation in college or in the research laboratories or in pilot plant. But if you go for commercial manufacturing, the well formation and the ampere load of the rapid mixer granulator. Just remember one thing: ampere load of rapid mixer granulator. Ampere load means amount of current rapid mixer granulator is taking to complete the granulation. With the low density powder, it will take uh, higher amount of ampere load, and with proper granulation with proper density, the current taking capacity or the current requirement of the rapid mixer granulator will be less. So this is very important parameter. You just remember ampere load in rapid mixer granulator is, if you go for any interview, definitely if you talk about rapid mixer granulator, they will uh, ask few questions, volume related and density related questions of rapid mixer granulator, speed related question, higher speed lower speed related questions, and third one is ampere load related questions. Why ampere, how this ampere load is related to endpoint. So in every pharma industry and every pilot plant industry, pilot plant, for proper endpoint, we decide one ampere load through process optimization, or through experiments done in FND, or through validation process. Okay, these three things are very important. Optimization for process optimization. Okay, FND means you are doing experiments in FND, and third one is validation. Validation we you do in before establishing the process. In through this three process, we define the ampere load of the product, and this ampere load is very much important for end point of the granulation. Okay. Next is low shear granulation, wet granulation. Here you are using a simple equipment, planetary mixer. Its operation is very simple. How we are this planetary mixer, I'll tell you, this planetary mixer will used for two things normally. One is for semi-solid manufacturing, one is for small volume granules formation or granules manufacturing. It's simply having in one vessel, one central shaft, one scraping blade. And why it called planetary mixer? Because around the central shaft, one scrubber is rotating like a planet. That's why we call it as a planetary mixer. So this is another equipment what we use in pharma industry for manufacturing of granules or a smaller amount of granules, and you will find this in R&D and definitely in pilot plant and in manufacturing unit. This is low shear because here the amount of agitation will be very less than high shear process. Okay. So what are the advantages of high and low shear granulation? Short processing time, the process will be very easy. Lesser amount of liquid binder required compared with fluid bed granulation process that we discuss in next slide. If you compare high shear and low shear and FBD process, the liquid binders amount required will be very less here. Highly cohesive material can be granulated, means if you have any type of material with any type of property, it can be easily done in this process. What are the disadvantages? Mechanical degradation could take place in case of fragile particles. Definitely physical stability will affect. Here in this case, high shear and low shear, or we can say in wet granulation process, one main important thing is moisture sensitive drug and heat sensitive drug. These two drugs we need to be very careful. If we are using the aqueous solvents, then definitely we cannot use moisture sensitive and heat sensitive product, because in aqueous solvent definitely the product will degrade uh, with moisture, and with aqueous solvent definitely there will be larger drying time. You just see these two comparison. If you are using aqueous solvent, moisture sensitive and heat sensitive products we cannot use. In non-aqueous solvents, at least you can use uh, which are moisture sensitive product, and here heat also will be very less, because at the aqueous solvent you need the larger amount of heat during the drying process, and for aqueous solvent you need a smaller amount of heat to evaporate the solvent. So definitely these are two differences. Okay, and this will decide during the formulation and development and during the validation process or during the optimization process, that which type of solvent in which type of physical property we can use. Okay, so here these two things are important, why we are using aqueous and why we are using non-aqueous, for moisture sensitivity and heat degradation. Okay, in normally in wet granulation process, this overweighting problems are there. So third problem is overweighting, and to overcome this overweighting, we'll discuss what are the novel techniques we can use. Overweighting you are getting just if you put solvent, or if you put aqueous or non-aqueous solvent, there one part will be overweighted and another part will be dried. Okay, to overcome this problem, there are 2-3 methods they have discovered, or the trial is being going on, how we can reduce the overweighting. One simple example is using of steam instead of water. Okay, so steam is having more penetration power, and it can all overweighting. Using a foam instead of solution, if you use foam, again its penetration power will be very high, or spreading power will be very high. So these are the means one challenge is overweighting, and how we are overcoming overweighting through this novel techniques, using a steam or using a foam based granulation method. Okay, Next is fluidilide bed granulation. Okay, you might must heard about this Wrester name. I'll tell you, the Wrester is a person which first time use this process for coating of the particles. Okay, and its principle is very simple. Suspend the solid particles using a compressed air in a vessel. Okay, and through spray nozzle, spray coating solution if you are going for coating, spray granulating solvent if you are going for granulation, and don't spray anything if you are just simply drying the wet granules obtained from RMG process, or high shear or wet shear, low shear granulation process. I'll share one video about this, how this fluidilide bed process are work. Uh, okay, this is the equipment. In bottom you can see the holding vessel, and bottom of this holding vessel is having one mesh. Through this mesh you can pass the compressed air. Okay, this compressed air can be heated one, can be normal one. Okay, if you are going for drying, it will be heated compressed air. If you are going for simply this coating process, you can use normal air. Okay, so the Wrester principle is very simple: suspending the air particles, suspending the solid particles into the air in a vessel. Through this nozzle, spray two things: either granulating solvent, in if you are going for granulation, or coating solvent if you are using for coating solution if you are using. And in single process, you can complete the coating and drying, you can complete the granulation and drying, and you can complete simple drying. Okay, on top, if you talk about the this fluidilide process, definitely they will ask about the finger bags. Okay, so these are the finger bags, these are the cloth finger bags. What these things do: if you suspend the particles in air, definitely, and the top there will be one exhaust. If you suspend the particle and top, if you are having exhaust, definitely some solid particles can from go away or exhaust from the top. So to prevent the this exhaust of this solid particles, you need finger bags. Okay, on top of this, so this finger bags avoid this exhaust problem. And in this ABD process, sensors are very important. How much amount of granules you have taken, that sensor, temperature of the air, incoming air, temperature of the exhaust air. Okay, one sensor on the top. If your solid particles are going out, definitely this will stop the process. Okay, so finger bags and the questions related to sensors and speed or compressibility of air, or you can say the how much air you are using. These processes are very important. Okay, these parameters are very important. Okay, this is about fluidilide bed granulation, or you can say fluidilide bed coater also you can use, or simple drying process also you can use. Huh. What are the different components of this process? One, air handling unit. Why air handling unit is required? To whether you need normal air or heated air. Okay, so air handling unit will supply this. Product containers and bottom product container that you can remove and again you can fix. Spray nozzle for coating solution or granulating solution. Spray and engagement on top. Control system are very important in this solution. What are the advantages of this process and disadvantages? Advantage maybe in of the maintain. You cannot
We are very sorry. Actually, there are certain connectivity issue. Once the issue is resolved, we will get back to you soon. Okay, so stay tuned. We will share you another link if the connectivity issue is resolved. Thank you. Hello, sir. Now you are visible. Pushkar, sir.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, please share your PPT.
yeah. No, okay, thank you. Sorry, everybody, for this technical issue. Okay, I'll continue this. Now you're getting PPT.
No, sir. No, sir. Please share your PPT.
Yeah, once you are able to see the PPT, just give me a
Yeah.
signal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sorry, sir. Sorry. Just one
Yeah.
second. I'm not shared it actually.
Yes, sir. Now it is visible, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, everybody, for this technical interruption. I was talking about the extrusion and esperonization technique. Okay, this technique normally we use in F&D laboratories, smaller equipments, and in pilot plant process, and sometimes we use in industrial production of the granules. So there are two parts, two processes in this: making extrudes, uh, like you can say the Maggi like noodles of the dough mass. Okay, and then taking this extrudes in esperonization plate, just simply a rotating plate with sharp like sharp triangles, and through this shear of rotation, this extrudes will become the granules. I'll share one video about this process. Okay, this is the equipment for making extrudes. One hopper assembly, one extrude making assembly. Okay, and down you'll find esperonization, the holder for making the esperonized granules. Yeah, these are the three different types of sizes of holder to make different size of pallets. Yeah, you can see here, this is the pellet making process, and down you can see the rotating blade. This will make granules. Okay, in this process also, the physical parameters and the process related parameters, uh, temperature, speed, and amount, all these things are very important. Okay, what are the advantages of this process and disadvantages of this process? In this process, one major advantage. Okay, so now we discussed about the RMG process and this FBD process. Okay, in these two process, if your API is very less and your amount of excipients are very large, then definitely there will be the content uniformity problem in these two process. And to avoid the content uniformity problem, see here, these are the parameters where you are deciding. Okay, to avoid the content uniformity problem, where your one API is very less and one ingredient is having larger amount and another ingredient is having the middle category, this process can take all these things and make good quality granules with proper content uniformity. This is the major advantage of this extrusion and exponentiation technology. Ability to incorporate higher levels of active components without producing excessively large particles. Two or more active ingredients can be easily combined in this any ratio. Okay, and these particles are spherical in shape. Okay, having good bulk density, good hygroscopicity. Okay, dust free and smooth surface means there are lots of advantages. But again, where are the challenges? This process is very good. Okay, its advantages are very good. Again, this cannot be used for the batch processing, means the continuous processing, because again the cleaning and the batch to batch changeover process, we call in industry two things we use: batch to batch changeover and product to product changeover. If in a single equipment we are using a different product, in between there is a whole complete cleaning process, we call it a product to product changeover. And the cleaning process between two batches are called as batch to batch cleaning. So in this equipment, batch to batch cleaning and product to product cleaning is very time consuming. So again, why we are not using this in larger scale? Because of this problem. Okay. Next is dry granulation. So we discussed about wet granulation, its different processes: high shear, low shear, APD process, extrusion process. There are disadvantages and advantages. Next is dry granulation process. Simply, if your product is having good compressibility, if your product is moisture sensitive, if your product is heat sensitive, then definitely you will avoid this wet granulation process. You will go for dry granulation, because we will not be using any kind of heat here. So degradation problem of thermo-level product can be avoided. You will not be using any solvent, so health hazards of the working personnel can be avoided. You are not using any aqueous thing here, so definitely hydrolysis of moisture sensitive product can be avoided. So these are the challenges we faced in wet granulation. So to avoid these challenges, we are going for dry granulation. But again, here also you need to decide based on the physical property of the product. If your product is simple, no moisture sensitive problem, no heat related problem, you will go for this process, while you go for this process. Okay, you need to think about the economy also. Okay, this if you go for the production or research, I'll just simply tell, if you go for the process, because commercial manufacturing, because ultimately in formulation and development and pilot plant also you will think about the commercial manufacturing. Okay, so in commercial manufacturing you will not think only about the physical property of the product, you need to think about the economy of the product also. Okay, so based on the economy, there are four parameters normally. One is safety of the worker, quality of the product, like this is based on the physical parameters. Okay, supply, if the product requirement is very less, then you can use the smaller equipment and you can use time consuming process for that particular process. If your demand is very high, then definitely you need to choose a process which can be run continuously, and their output can be very high. So you are getting my point. Not only physical parameters we need to think during the formulation development and the pilot plant, you need to think about economy also, you need to think about demand and supply also. Okay, you need to think about the operators or working personnel safety also. Okay, so by this whole process, so the only one thing is you need to be technically very sound. about all these processes. Okay, then only you can decide the particular process for good economy, good quality, good safety, and good supply. Okay, so this is dry granulation process. There are two methods. One is slugging, one is roller compactor. Roller compactor means simply making the mix of powder, okay, using a compression process, making a large pellets and milling these pellets, you will find a granules. One simple principle of this process is, if you compress one mix of powder and then again decompress, then there will be change in the physical property of the powder mix. Its compressibility, its flow property will increase. Very simple, because this is a cohesion, adhesion, and breaking the process. Breaking process, definitely your covalent bond and other wonder walls process and all these things will work and will change the physical property of uh, uh, the the final product. Okay, next is slugging method. In this method, you will you make larger tablets using the compression machine. You are not using chelsonator or roller compactor. Here you are using the compression machine to make the larger size of the tablets, and then again you are breaking it and making a granules. So here simple principle of that dry granulation is, with this compression and decompression, there will be change in the physical property of the powder mix, and there will be improve in compressibility, there will be improve in your flow properties. Okay, so there are two processes. One is roller compactor. Its principle is very simple: making a large pellets through rolls and breaking it. Okay, you can see the diagram. These are two rollers. You are making a pellets and simply breaking it through hammer mill. Okay, simple process. Next is slugging. In slugging, you are again taking a dry mix, making a larger size of tablets. Not the tablets what we are consuming, then three times, four times, or five times larger tablet than what we are consuming, and then breaking it, and then again making the smaller size of the tablets. The principle is simple. With this compression decompression, your physical parameters will change. Okay, so what are the advantages of dry granulation process? As I said, moisture sensitive, heat sensitive material can be used easily, eliminate the need of binder solution preparation, costly and time consuming drying step. Definitely your in wet granulation process, you, you there are three steps. One is binder solution preparation, wet granulation, and drying process. In this, definitely you will remove these two processes. Improve disintegration, since powder particles are not bonded by binder. Okay, so you are not using a binder solution. Okay, so definitely the disintegration power of granules made from this process will be very high. Okay, next one is disadvantage. There is one typographical error here. In this dry granulation process, you need heavy duty tablet press. Okay, when you go for dry granulation or this direct compression, there will be color uniformity problem. You must have heard about the mottling problem, the non-uniform color distribution. Okay, so these problems are very common for dry granulation and direct compression method. You remember mottling problem in dry granulation and mottling problem in direct compression process. Okay, so again, if your product is colorful, if you are making different colors of the tablet, then definitely you need to be very careful. You need to think twice and thrice before taking the dry granulation process and the direct compression methods. Okay, because making a color solution is very easy, and making a colorful product through the dry process will be very difficult. So this is again one parameters which gives you the idea whether we need to go for this or not. Okay, So you are getting my point. With different processes, different challenges are there, different opportunities are there, different ways are there. So you need to decide. Okay. One is direct compression. You seen this compression process. In compression process, when you go for interview, they will ask about tools. Okay. Going for compression. Simple. You need just one compression machine. One blender or some other kind of for mixing. Okay. Direct compression involve few steps: milling of the drug and excipients like sifting. Before going for any processing in either in larger manufacturing or commercial manufacturing, either in pilot plant, either in R&D, the first step is sifting or sieving of the raw material. Why we are doing this sieve analysis process and why sieving is very important? To define the particle size and to obtain the proper particle size. So first step of everything is sieving, mixing of the excipients and tablet compression. Okay, disadvantages is we are not using any weight binder. Definitely the physical strength of the tablet what we are getting will be less, because there are more chances of air entrapment. Okay, because there is no moisture, and if you are compressing the dry product, there are possibility of air entrapment. And one of the major problem with air entrapment during the compression is lamination. Okay, if you are compressing something, if if air is entrapped in between, then definitely your tablet will break in two parts. Okay, so with this process, physical stability of tablet will be very less. Capping, lamination, and splitting and layering of the tablets, and in this modeling problem also will be there. If you are using the dry laths or dyes, definitely uniform distribution of the color will not be there. Okay, this is direct compression. Now, just okay. Now we have discussed about the currently using different methods of granulation. Okay, in pharma industry or in commercial manufacturing, in pilot plant, and in formulation development. In today's session also, we come through some challenges like overweighting, moisture sensitivity, heat sensitivity, non-uniform distribution, larger size of particles. Okay, and to overcome, our we have missed one disadvantage of roller compactor is dust formation. Dust formation during the process. Okay, so to overcome these challenges, we'll use One of this technology, these are the advanced granulation technology. These technologies, in these technologies, you are not using a different equipment, but you are using a same equipment with some modification or some modification in the process. Like first process is pneumatic dry granulation technology. Okay, so what we discussed in dry granulation, there are two parts. One is through roller compactor, one is through slugging method. In roller compactor, if you go for roller compactor and the decompression, during this process there will be dust formation. Okay, to avoid this dust formation, you use this PDG technology. Okay, next, weight granulation. We discussed about the overweighting problem and disintegration issues, and we forgot one thing, hydrophobic drugs and hydrophilic drugs. Okay, so to overcome these challenges, we use these different technologies to make the granules. Okay, so we'll go through each and individual technologies one by one. Okay, first is pneumatic dry granulation technology. You can see the diagram. This process is very similar to Chilsonator or roller compactor. This is the roller compactor or Chilsonator technique only. You are having blend, you are making the larger pellets, you are breaking it, and you are collecting the granules. Just a smaller modification is you are using a pneumatic technique. Pneumatic technique will segregate the larger particles and smaller particles and dust, and you can collect this dust or smaller particles, and again you can recycle it. So instead of going for the product wastage, or instead of going for a operation hazards, you are using this the remaining particles, and you are recycling it and again going for the manufacturing. Okay, so with this simple modification, we can say this is a novel technique to avoid the challenges of dust formation during the simple conventional roller compactor technique. Okay, so what are the disadvantages? What are the advantages with this process? PDGT technology, pneumatic dry granulation technology. Good granulation results even at high drug loading, even with material which is difficult to handle. Why? Because your system is closed, you can handle any type of product. Faster speed, lower cost of manufacturing compared to wet granulation. The system is closed, offer the advantages due to low dust formation, and this low dust formation is disadvantage not only for sorry, this dust formation is disadvantage not only for the product but for the operation personnel also. uh, Apart from the product loss, definitely this dust is very toxic for the operators and the operating environment, and there are chances of cross contamination. Okay, so to avoid cross contamination, to avoid wastage, and to provide safety to workers, this pneumatic technology we use. Okay, the granules and tablet produced having fast disintegration, it is similar to roller compactor normal technology only. So here major advantage is closed system, product efficiency, safety, and economy. Next one is steam granulation technology. So the previous one was dry granulation, novel technique of dry granulation technology. These remaining slides will cover the novel techniques we use in wet granulation technology. Okay, so first part is steam granulation technology. It's very simple. You are using a steam instead of water or any non-aqueous solvent. You are getting my point? Instead of making a binder solution, you just add the dry binder in the product and use the steam for the granulation. advantage of this steam is having higher penetration power than normal water. And second thing is, as steam is directly in heated form, it's having its own energy, the drying time will be very less. The the process will continue in rapid mixer granulation technology or planetary equipment also you can use. Okay, take the dry powder, add the binding solution, sorry, they add the binder in dry form, and supply the steam through the powder bed. So there will be uniform distribution of steam. You can avoid which problem? Overwetting problem. Okay, and then you will find wet granules, and you can go for the drying process. Okay, so what are the advantages? Uniform distribution in powder particles, high diffusion rate. Steam is having high diffusion rate than water. Okay, high dissolution rate of the granules. You are getting my point. If you are this is a internal property of the powder, means how much water it is taking and it is absorbing. It will be helpful during the disintegration or during the dissolution part. Okay, so definitely with the steam granulation, what are the products or what are the granules you will be getting, having the good dissolution profile. Okay, time efficient, environment friendly, no health hazard. No health hazard in terms means you are not using any solvent, so there is no health hazard for the operator. And maintain sterility. And sterility means you can use the sterile the product which can be used for the sterile manufacturing. Those things you can use for steam granulation. Disadvantages is related to operation, because you need heat. Definitely you need means you need the more money to generate the steam. Okay, you need boiler, means your boiler capacity will be very good to supply this heat or steam to the granulation process. Means additionally you need some equipment or you need some money to generate this steam. Okay, high energy input you need. Okay, so your economy, your economy will definitely affect because of this steam generation and the equipment and the steam supply things. Okay, definitely thermolabile drugs you cannot use. And one safety related thing you need to take care, here safety comes first. So whenever we discuss any meeting in our industry, we talk about safety, quality, supply, and personal. Okay, so here uh, your personal and safety, these two things are very means very important in steam granulation. Because of these heated parts, you need to be very careful. You need to ensure proper safety of the operators. Next is moisture activated dry granulation technology. Moisture, you just listen the terms carefully. Moisture activated dry granulation technology. Very simple. In dry granulation technology, okay, you are using a smaller amount of water, which no need to dry actually. Very smaller amount, 1% or less than 1%, or just you can say sprinkling the water on the powder bed. Very small amount. This smaller amount of the water can accelerate the binding process. You are getting, you are going for the dry compression using a dry powder. Just a sprinkler little amount of water, its binding capacity of the powder will become in means you can increase this binding capacity. Okay, so you can use dry excipients, you can use minimum amount of water, 1 or 4%, and you can use moisture absorbing material, microcrystalline cellulose. Okay, in definite, and normally you are having microcrystalline cellulose in maximum formulations. Okay, so it can absorb moisture. and then go for the dry granulation process, and you will find dry granules. So you are getting, first you are having dry granulation process through chalconator and slugging. Then there were disadvantage of the dust formation, so you used a pneumatic system to avoid the dust. Then again there were problem of uh, product stability. Okay, where you are getting the less stable product. So to avoid this product stability problem, you are where your physical stability of the product was very less, you are using the smaller amount of the moisture just to improve the product stability. So these are the this process are like chain. If you are getting one disadvantage, then you do this thing, you means you will overcome one disadvantage, then again definitely there will be another challenge, then you use the different technology to overcome this challenge. Okay, so this is moisture activated dry granulation technology, we call as MADG technology. Okay, what are the advantages of MADG technology? Application suitable for continuous processing, definitely this dry granulation able for continuous manufacturing. Less energy involved, you are not using any drying process, you are not supplying any heat, you are not supplying any steam, so definitely you need less energy. Disadvantages are, even with a smaller amount of moisture, the product which is having which is highly hygroscopic, definitely you cannot use it. And formulation are a little bit difficult to develop because you need to calculate how much amount of the moisture you need. So this calculation you need to do. Next is melt granulation technology. Okay, you must heard about the solid dispersions. The solid dispersion we make to improve the dissolution profile of the hydrophobic drugs. So this solid dispersion technology and melt granulation technology are very similar. Okay, so this technology you are using not as a challenge of operational thing, or this technology you are using uh, for process for product related challenges. Like if you are having a hydrophobic drug whose dissolution profile is very poor, okay, then you can use this melt granulation technology to improve the dissolution profile of the drug. And this melt granulation is another form of solid dispersion manufacturing. Okay, so what you do here, you, instead of making the binder solution in aqueous and non-aqueous solvent, you simply melt the binder. Okay, you use the binder which can be melt uh, in the temperature in a range of 70 to 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, so simply melt the binders, binder, simple dry binder, and mix it, uh, mix in dry mix. Okay, just pour on dry mix, like simply like you are making, you are adding a binder solution. Instead of adding a binder solution in RMG process, use the melted binder and continue the process. Okay, so this melted binder will form a coat around the granules, okay, of hydrophobic layer. So this hydrophobic layer formation will enhance the dissolution profile of the product. Simply one advantage, dissolution profile of the poorly water soluble drug can be increased using melt granulation technology. Okay, what are the advantages? Enhancement of dissolution profile, bioavailability of the poorly water soluble drug can be improved by solid dispersion. This is the commercial method to make a solid dispersion. Time and cost effective, eliminate the liquid addition drying step, definitely your binder solution preparation will not be there and drying will not be there, but um, you need to heat. You need to heat the binder powder to make a to melt it. So definitely this step will be there. Okay, and this solid dispersion can be cooled at room temperature, because this liquefied binder will will become easily solid at room temperature. Water sensitive drugs and hydrophobic drugs are good candidates, and you can control. So this process you use in controlled drug delivery system or sustained drug delivery system. Okay, so this you can connect what we were studying in our textbook, like controlled drug delivery system or sustained drug delivery system. Okay, so you can connect this melt granulation technology with this. Okay, this is the commercial form of what we are thinking in textbook. Okay, disadvantages, definitely heat sensitive material you cannot use, and each and every binder you cannot melt. All binders will not be having that particular physical properties which can be melted in smaller narrow of this heat. So there are specific binders only you can use. Okay, next is thermal adhesion granulation technology, TAG technology. Okay, this is again similar to solid dispersion. Okay, in this technology, instead of instead of melting the binder solution, instead of melting the binder powder, you are hitting both your dry mix and powder in a double cone blender. See, in this technology, you are not using a sophisticated equipment. You are using a equipment which normally you use in conventional manufacturing. Just take the dry mix of powder and take the binder, heat and provide the heat. With this heating, there will be binding or adhesion between the particles. You are getting my point. Instead of making a binder solution, instead of melting a binder, just heat both the powder and the binder. With this heat, there will be adhesion between the particles. Okay, so this is simple, using a heat, binding using a heat. Okay, again, with this technology, your dissolution profile can be improved. Okay, advantages are time efficient, no drying process required, no dust generation. Again, disadvantages, you need high energy input and thermolabile and moisture sensitive drugs you cannot use, and there are limited binders which you can use, because not all binders are stable at higher temperatures. Okay, next is freeze granulation technology. Okay, freeze granulation technology. This technology you use for costly drugs only, or very potent drugs, or very sophisticated drugs only. You will not use this for making a paracetamol or simply very economic drugs. You will not go for costly process. Okay, so why we are using this costly process? For the costly product, and product which is very unstable in heat or in external environment. Okay, so here you need to think about the cost of the product. You need to think about the stability of. Okay, so these are the means. Through this challenge, this process comes as a result of these challenges. Okay, so in this process, what you do, you make a suspension of the drug. You atomize the suspension in liquid nitrogen. So why we use liquid nitrogen? Liquid is having very less temperature and minus degree Celsius. Okay, so with this liquid nitrogen, you can solidify the liquid suspension. Okay, so once you atomize the suspension of the API in this liquid nitrogen, you will find the solidified particles. Take these solidified particles and use the freeze dryer to dry this particles. So you are seeing, sorry, you are able to see, sorry, that you need the liquid nitrogen, you need the freeze dryer, you need the holding equipment which can avoid the moisture or external environment. So this whole process is definitely will be very costly. Okay, so you need to use for very potent or very costly drugs which are unstable at external environment, or which you need to be take care very carefully. Okay, what are the advantage? Granules homogeneity, particles uniform, content uniformity will be there because it will be in suspension form. Thermolabile drugs can be used. Granule density can be controlled through automation. If you are using higher automation, definitely you will find the smaller particles. If you are using lower automation, then definitely you can get the larger particles. So through control of this automation, you can uh, uh, change the physical property of the granules. Material waste will not be there because whole and soul 100% the particles you can use, 100% product you can process. Disadvantages: there will be limited solvents, only suitable for conversion of liquid slurry or suspension into the granules. So again, the problem of the product which are not uh, which are moisture sensitive or which are having the stability problem with the solvent, then you need to think about this technology before going for that. Simple modification where in simple granulation technology, you remove, you replaced water with steam. Now you are replacing water with foam. The process is very simple and very similar to wet granulation technology, normal wet granulation RMG process. Take the dry mix, go for dry mixing, and instead of using a binder solution, you agitate or you sonicate the binder solution, you will get the form. You are using that form to make a form of the binder solution to granulate the product. So again, with this form, there are two advantages. There will be high penetration, three advantages: high penetration, less overweighting, and drying time will be very less. Okay, so this is a minor modification. Instead of solution of binder, binder solution, you are making you are using a form of the binder solution. Advantages: less equipment, water requirement, no nozzle spray required like ABD process, uniform distribution of binder because penetration power of foam is higher than the liquid. There will be no overweighting, low cost process. Disadvantages: moisture sensitive products you cannot use, and there are limited binders. The last one is reverse phase wet granulation technology. Last one. This is the last one. So this is very simple. Very minor change in this. Instead of pouring liquid binder on powder bed, you are pouring dry powder into the binding solution. Okay, this simple change can change the dissolution profile of the drug. Okay, what is a simple change? Instead of pouring the liquid binder onto the powder bed, you are pouring a dry powder mix into the binding solution. So you can at least achieve one thing, that you can improve the dissolution profile, because your distribution of the distribution and coating of the binding this binder on the individual granules will be very high. Okay, advantages: granules erode more uniformly during the dissolution testing. Simple, you can improve the dissolution. Particle size: spherical shape particles you can use, and poorly water soluble drugs you can use. It's like solid dispersion, instead of heating or melting the binder, you can use the simple granulation in reverse form. Okay, see, these are the you are getting some challenges, then you are thinking it, and you are overcoming these challenges through simple modification. Okay, disadvantages: larger particles will be there, low porosity will be there, and there will be many problems during the similar to wet granulation technology. So this slide were all about the granulation technology and what are the challenges we faced and how we overcome these challenges and make the new different techniques to overcome to make the granules. So in conclusion, I will say technical and technological innovations that improve and ease the existing process could contribute to improve in addition to substantial impact on the product development time and economy. So as I said, your aim is product quality, product supply, and economy. Apart from these parameters, safety. So you need to think about all these things, and accordingly you need to form a you need to make a product. Thank you very much. Ajay sir, over to you. My side, I'm done.
Okay, sir. Thank you for your nice information regarding the granulation technique. So I request students, if you have any question on today's session, then please
Thanks.
go on. If you have any questions, then please put it in chat box. Okay, sir. I think there is no more question. So I think
Okay.
we have to conclude this session. Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Thank you everybody for your
yeah.
time.
So good
Yeah.
afternoon, one and all party. Yeah, yeah. Uh, so good afternoon, one and all the participants. It's a great honor and privilege to propose vote of thanks on behalf of entire fraternity of KGRDCP and RI on this student development program organized under KG Sanjeevani Continued Learning Webinar Series. First and foremost, I would like to thank Mr. Pushkara Sharma for being delivering such a nice information on recent advances in granulation technology for pharmaceutical formulations. So thank you, sir, for your contribution and spending time in small initiative of development program. Next, my sincere thanks to our management and principal sir, Dr. Mohan Kale sir, for giving the opportunity to organize this student development program. I'm also thankful to organizing team, Dr. Amol Sandekar, coordinator of this SDP, Dr. Vaishali Zadho, Mr. Amol Borade, and Mrs. Poonam Patil for continuous assistance during this session. Last but not in the least, I thanks to all the participants and delegate for their active participation. So thank you participants. Very soon, already I sent a feedback link on your email ID. So I request you to all to please fill the same. So herewith, with the permission of the coordinators, I conclude this student development program. Thank you. Stay safe and happy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.